Here are 25 PS5 games released so far in 2026 that you need to know about. Starting us off at number 1, The Legend of Heroes Trails Beyond the Horizon kicked off 2026 with a bang for JRPG fans on January 15th. This long-running series has always delivered dense world-building and layered storytelling, and this new entry continues that tradition with a massive cast of returning characters and a brand new continent to explore. If you enjoy story-rich, turn-based RPGs with interconnected lore, this game is essentially made for you and delivers hours upon hours of content. Number 2 is Romeo is a Dead Man, one of the most unique and talked about releases of early 2026. Developed by Grasshopper Manufacture, this stylish action game is unlike anything else on PS5, blending punk aesthetics with fast, frantic melee combat and an absurd dark comedy narrative that only Suda51 and his team could pull off. It launched February 11th and has since developed a devoted cult following among fans who appreciate games that take bold creative risks and refuse to play by the rules.
Coming in at number 3, Dragon Quest VII Reimagined dropped on February 5th and immediately became a must-have for RPG collectors and longtime fans of the franchise. This beautifully rebuilt version of one of the most beloved entries in the Dragon Quest series brings modernized visuals and quality-of-life improvements while preserving the original's epic scope. The game spans dozens of hours of classic turn-based RPG gameplay, letting you restore fragmented lands to their former glory, one shard of the past at a time.
At number 4, we have Nioh 3, which launched February 6th and absolutely delivered for fans of challenging action RPGs. Team Ninja took a major step forward this time around, trading in the series' traditional mission structure for expansive open-field environments that let you explore freely across multiple eras of Japanese history. The combat is as deep and rewarding as ever, blending samurai and ninja playstyles in a system that gives you genuine control over how you approach every battle. Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma lands at number 5, having arrived on February 13th as a surprise hit that resonated with players who enjoy a more relaxed gaming experience. This entry draws from Eastern mythology and gives you a beautifully realized open world to farm, explore, and fight through in equal measure. The balance between life simulation and action RPG mechanics is exceptionally well handled here, and the charming characters and seasonal rhythms make it genuinely difficult to put down once you get into the groove. Sliding into number 6, Reanimal hit PS5 on February 13th and caught a lot of people off guard with just how unsettling and creative it turned out to be. Developed by the team behind Little Nightmares, this co-op platformer piles on atmosphere through its grotesque creature design and eerie sound work. Playing alone is tense enough, but teaming up with a friend to rescue animal companions from a world that feels deeply, fundamentally wrong creates one of the most memorable horror experiences available on PS5 right now. Number 7 goes to Avowed, which made its PlayStation 5 debut on February 17th, after originally launching on Xbox and PC. Obsidian Entertainment's fantasy RPG, set in the Pillars of Eternity universe, finally arrived for Sony players and did not disappoint. The first-person combat is satisfying and builds nicely over time. The world is packed with hidden details and meaningful side quests, and the writing lives up to the studio's reputation for crafting characters you actually care about. At number 8, Ys X Proud Nordics released on February 20th and reminded everyone why the Ys series has such a loyal fan base. The game blends the series' signature fast-paced action combat with a dual character system that adds a fresh cooperative layer to the gameplay. Set in a Viking-inspired world filled with seafaring adventure and mythic battles, it moves at a relentless pace from start to finish and is one of the most purely enjoyable action RPGs released on PS5 this year. Coming in at number 9, Resident Evil Requiem launched on February 27th and immediately became one of the biggest PS5 games of 2026 so far. Capcom put together an exceptional survival horror experience that follows FBI analyst Grace Ashcroft and the returning Leon S. Kennedy through a Raccoon City investigation full of dread and intensity. Selling over 7 million copies within 2 months of release, this is the fastest-selling entry in the entire Resident Evil franchise and sits firmly in Game of the Year conversations. Number 10 is Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly Remake, which arrived on March 12th and gave horror fans a gorgeously updated version of one of the scariest games ever made. Koei Tecmo preserved everything that made the original so disturbing while adding modern controls, rebuilt visuals, and smoother performance on PS5. The camera obscura mechanic, which has you photographing ghosts to fight them, remains one of gaming's most unique and nerve-wracking combat systems nearly 2 decades after it was first introduced. At number 11, Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection launched March 13th and offered something completely different from the mainline Monster Hunter series. This turn-based RPG leans into the monster riding and breeding systems in a big way, giving you a collection-driven gameplay loop that is deeply satisfying across dozens of hours of content. The vibrant art style and accessible mechanics make it a great entry point for newcomers, while still offering enough depth to keep series veterans engaged all the way through. Sliding in at number 12, Crimson Desert released March 19th and delivered one of the most visually spectacular open-world action RPGs PS5 has ever seen. Pearl Abyss packed this massive game with hundreds of hours worth of content, combining brutal melee combat with deep exploration and a surprisingly emotionally invested storyline following mercenary MacDuff. Players are still uncovering secrets and hidden mechanics months after release, which speaks to just how much content the developers packed into this game. Number 13 is Hades 2, which finally arrived on PS5 on April 14th after spending months as a Nintendo Switch 2 console exclusive. Supergiant Games brought the PS5 version loaded with every post-launch update already baked in, making this the most complete version of the game available. Playing as Melino on her mission to stop the Titan of Time, you get a roguelike experience that is arguably deeper and more replayable than the already legendary original game. At number 14, Pragmata dropped April 17th and became Capcom's third critically acclaimed release of 2026. This entirely new IP blends third-person shooting with real-time hacking puzzles in a near-future lunar setting, following Hugh and his android companion Diana through a story that kept players talking for weeks after launch. It is a genuinely fresh take on action game design and proof that Capcom is not just coasting on its iconic franchises right now. Number 15 is Saros, the PS5 exclusive from Housemarque that released April 30th and showed exactly what the studio learned from making Returnal. Set on an alien planet called Carcosa, beneath a permanent eclipse, you play as Arjun Devraj, fighting through a time loop narrative with combat that feels tighter and more satisfying than anything the developer has made before. If you have a PS5 and enjoy action games that challenge you while making it impossible to stop playing, this one is not optional. Invincible vs takes number 16 after launching April 30th as one of the most entertaining fighting games to hit PS5 this year. Based on the hit comic and animated series, the game features a generous roster pulled straight from the Invincible universe, and a tag team battle system that rewards creative combo building and teamwork. It has found a dedicated competitive community online, and regularly delivers exciting moments, whether you're playing ranked matches or just messing around with friends in local Hearses mode. Number 18 is LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, which hit PS5 on May 22nd and turned out to be a serious open-world Batman game disguised in brick form. Traveler's Tales built this one on Unreal Engine 5 and drew heavily from the Batman Arkham series for its combat, resulting in something that feels substantial and genuinely impressive rather than just a casual kids title. It received near universal recommendations from critics and became one of the most discussed surprise hits of the spring. Coming in at number 19, 07 First Light launched May 27th and is the James Bond game fans have been waiting years for. IO Interactive, the team behind the Hitman World of Assassination trilogy, crafted a stealth sandbox origin story for a young James Bond that features large mission environments spanning multiple globe-trotting locations. The attention to detail in how Bond moves, plans, and improvises feels authentic to the character, and the campaign offers tremendous replay value thanks to multiple viable approaches for every objective. At number 20, Mina the Hollower from Yacht Club Games arrived May 29th as one of the most charming and mechanically tight action games of the year so far. Taking clear inspiration from classic Game Boy Color adventures, this gothic pixel art game has you wielding a whip and burrowing underground to dodge hazards as you explore a vast interconnected world full of memorable bosses and hidden secrets. It exceeded expectations on nearly every level and proved the Shovel Knight developers can create another franchise-worthy character. Number 21 is Yakuza Kiwami 3 and Dark Ties, which launched February 12th and expanded the beloved Yakuza series with a dual package that includes a modern remake and a new standalone story following a fresh cast of characters connected to Kiryu's world. The remake side does an excellent job modernizing the classic Dragon Engine combat for the older game, while Dark Ties adds new narrative depth that longtime fans found genuinely moving and worth the price of admission on its own. Sliding into number 22, MLB The Show 26 released March 17th and continues to be the best baseball game available on any platform by a comfortable margin. Road to the Show received significant updates this year, including deeper storyline branching, and Diamond Dynasty brought new modes that have kept the competitive community engaged for months. Whether you are a hardcore baseball fan or someone who just enjoys well-crafted sports sims, this year's edition is the strongest the series has been in several years. At number 23, WWE 2K26 arrived March 13th with the most complete roster and creation suite the series has ever offered. Visual Concepts added a revamped GM mode that lets you build competing shows from scratch with unprecedented depth, and the gameplay refinements in the grappling system make matches feel more dynamic and responsive than in previous entries. It has proven to be the gift that keeps on giving for wrestling fans, who enjoy both its online competitive modes and its deep single-player career options. Number 24 is The Expanse of Osiris Reborn, which landed on PS5 on April 22nd and gave fans of the acclaimed sci-fi series a genuinely ambitious narrative adventure set within the show's universe. The story drops you into a new crew, navigating political tensions in the Belt, and delivers branching dialogue and decision systems that respect the source material's moral complexity. For anyone who watched and loved the show, this game absolutely delivers the authentic Expanse experience you were hoping for. Rounding out the list at number 25, EA Sports UFC 6 released June 19th as a significant step forward for the franchise. The striking and grappling systems received the most substantial overhaul in years. New AI behavioral improvements make fights feel genuinely reactive, and the revamped career mode gives you a full narrative arc from amateur beginnings to championship dominance. It closes out a remarkable first half of 2026 for PS5 gaming on a high note.